My name is Melinda Arndt. This is Elizabeth Forrest, known as Liz.
Yes, I'm excited to be here with you today, Melinda. Super excited to talk with you about all of the wonderful things that we have available in our community.
And Liz and I were speaking the other day about health coaching and health coaching from all aspects, physical, mental, emotional. Liz does have a background as an RN and also with a bachelor in nursing, but she's also done a lot of coaching training, and so she's very familiar with the world of health coaching. And I was fascinated to hear about the resources available and also about some of the simple things that we can do to take charge of our own health and life and have a more enjoyable, thriving experience. I remember you said for you, being outside, because you do live in the rural part of the community, just even dancing in the rain. Did you say dancing in the rain?
Yes, dancing in the rain. So just being able to be out in nature and experience just the warmth of the sun, the cool breeze blowing, or just those raindrops just falling, and just embracing every little bit of that energy that comes through those things, and just, letting that just be part of that healing that comes into us. Something so simple as just being out in nature and enjoying that.
I think we're kindred spirits that way. I know that doesn't do it for everybody, or that may have some restorative effect or, expansive effect, but, for some people, maybe it's doing something very narrowly focused, like, hitting a drum or doing something completely different. But I love the nature spirit in you as well.
Yes, there are so many different, opportunities that we have in our community, whether nature is your thing or whether you just like to focus on individual activities, but just being able to find, what resonates with you as an individual and participating in those activities and just letting those become part of a healing nature within each and every one of us and sharing that with others.
So you and probably other health coaches help people, if they want some help, like figuring out what is a good resonance thing for them to do that will help them move forward. And there's so many, I don't know, you could probably mention many more options that are popping into my mind, more because I like music as well, so music things are popping into my mind. And I remember one time being in an Artist's Way group with somebody, and you have to take yourself on an artist's date. If any of you know about the Artist's Way, it's a book. And I was in a little group doing the book, and one woman for her artist's date found that she went to the park, it was the fall, and she had a little bucket, and she just wanted to hear acorns falling into the bucket. And she wound up having some good experience. Anyway, that's random. But what are some other things that people bring up with you?
It's funny because I always encourage people when I'm coaching with them, to find the things that are important to them, that are meaningful to them. And, I know we talked the other day just a little, like some people, meditation and mindfulness and breathing, and wherever that feels comfortable for you, participating in those things, whether it's outside on the trails and maybe, at the water, whether you're just sitting out there floating around, whatever resonates with people on an individual level is what I encourage. Some people love meditation. They like a quiet room, that space, whatever resonates with them. Some people don't feel like meditation is, their thing. And for them, what's important is just petting their dog, so whatever it is, for each individual person, that's what I encourage, is like, find those things that make you happy. Sometimes it's gardening, whatever, just, you have to find what resonates with you, and what works for me isn't necessarily what's best for you or the next person. So, just knowing that we've got resources and finding those things.
And this brings up a point that I've been thinking about ever since our conversation the other day, how in this community, in any community, wherever we are, we're all resources for each other, whether we know it or not. I was mentioning about if you're in the grocery store and you come around the corner and just about bump carts, someone else has come, and just that smile or making a joke, anything that we do that just helps anybody like step out of the moment and just see a bigger picture and feel lighter and happier, that's an everyday kind of resource. But in a real practical way, people are always asking like, well, who do you go to for this kind of work on your car or for your dentist, or have you ever had this experience and who did you see about it? I mean, we're always doing those things for each other. And these community dialogues, I'm giving a little plug here. I have scanned through a few, there are several dozen up, and you can find all kinds of topics and people doing all kinds of things here in the community that might be something relevant in your own life right now.
Yeah. And, and if it's something that, if you're feeling that there's something missing, within you, there's resources. So reach out, I mean, for us, like just learning more about the community dialogues, not necessarily even knowing that this was a resource that we have available. And like reaching out to even the library. The library has a lot of information. There's all kinds of different things throughout town. The chamber, we've got a bunch of different resources available through our Chamber of Commerce. So you can stop up there and they've got all kinds of resources. So there's so many different things in our community, that you can listen to the radio, the paper. There's just so many ways, but word of mouth is also another fantastic way to find these resources in our community. So there's so many different things that we can do, but having conversations with one another and just what are you doing? Or, hey, this is a great time. Come with me. Come experience this. I'd love to share this with you, and just putting some of those things out there, to help heal other people when they're maybe not feeling their best and needing a little bit of support. So.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the library. It's not only can be a bibliographic pleasure palace, full of books and recorded material, but there are so many databases that you can access through the library that, anyway, I haven't even taken advantage of them, but I know they're there.
Yeah. And, really it is, as far as looking at it from the health aspect, it's what you need for yourself on an individual level, and pulling in those resources. Because we can experience healing, whether it's through laughter. Laughter gives you these endorphins, makes you feel good. It helps with stress, anxiety, sleeping. You're tired, you need rest. Listen to your body and honor those things. There's so many different things that we can find to help heal ourselves. The sunshine, that vitamin D that we're getting. It's just a rejuvenating feeling for me. We all need vitamin D. So many people struggle through the winter months, not having that, and they go through that seasonal affective disorder. But, finding different methods to help you, get those sources that you need, or bring on those, good endorphin highs from exercise, being out in the community, walking, running, exercising, whatever it is. But, finding your medicine to help you, whether it's, food, exercise, laughter, books, dogs, animals, whatever it is.
Yeah, or someone to play a game of chess with. Or at the I don't know if they've brought this back at the library since COVID, but there used to be jigsaw puzzles that you could just go and work in however much time you wanted to spend. Anybody, who walked in could help put it together. I should check that out. I haven't been in the local library in a little while, but it is the end of April. We've probably been outside as much more than we had been.
Yeah. So a lot of people are starting in on the gardens at this point in time, and growing that healthy food, the organic, fresh, without the pesticides and the chemicals and the additives, just that healthy diet and that healthy nutrition is super important to health as well. And some people just digging in the dirt,
I was going to say, for me, just being outside with my hands in the earth, and I wear gardening gloves now, but still, in the earth, and you're just working with the plants, even though you're having to say bye, you don't belong here, pulling out the weeds. But
so it is, health takes on so many different avenues, and there's so many different ways that we can nurture ourselves, whether it's our mind, it's our body, it's our spirit. There's so many different ways that we can look at health and bring health into our lives. So it really is individualized, and it's not a one size fits all. It's so much more than that. And one of the things that we're very blessed with are all the amazing things that we have in our community. The
Yeah.
trails,
Yes.
park and rec, we have the track at the high school, the activities for the children, Jefferson County Park, Chautauqua Park, amazing programs. The extension office also offers some great things for the kids, learning activities, even the adults in the community. There's so many things, and just resources within the community. And I'm working to bring some more resources and groups to the community to help further that as well.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And I remember from our conversation that you were saying sometimes, and this is where either a good friend or maybe if a friend doesn't feel like they have the training, a health coach sort of can be of service. People just, for whatever reason, kind of picking up the pieces of their lives and deciding it's time to move forward from whatever situation they've been in. And they just need a buddy, really, to encourage them on each next step of the way, even if it's very, very basic. Like, okay, did you put on your shoes and walk outside today? Because the person had said, I want to be able to put on my shoes and go outside every day. And if they got a friend or a coach who can walk them through that till they get that habit going again.
Yeah, it's so important to be able to get out there and experience things and have that fulfillment. And sometimes, we're so down and depressed and in such a dark place that we can't find that joy. We can't find the energy even just to get out of bed in the morning. So, that's one of the big benefits of, having resources and having people to be able to reach out to and being able to experience healing through all of these different modalities. And not necessarily replacing one with another or possibly even just adding to it, doing adjunct therapies, so you continually build on what you have. So you're able to feel better about yourself and you're able to make progress. You're able to move towards those goals and really, impact your life and help somebody else at the same time as well.
Yeah. And I remember you saying I don't know if you're part of a consortium, but certainly you are connected to many other health coaches so that you can all refer people to each other if someone gets a referral to you and the fit isn't right or they need really a different kind of help, that you guys can do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the wonderful things, even in our community, we have such a diverse, eclectic blend here. We do, very much so. And one of the things for me that's been very eye-opening and just enlightening is like the resources that I do have. I know coaches from all over the world and have networked with them, and we converse frequently, and just keeping those connections and knowing that if I have somebody that I don't necessarily resonate one-on-one great with, I can also refer them to somebody. Or if I'm working with somebody who's having a certain type of a health crisis, I can always say, hey, you probably should go get this looked at. You should check in with your doctor. And it's not me replacing, because I don't diagnose anything and I'm not prescribing anything. I'm just there helping them and supporting them through their journey to get to where they really want to be. And some things you do need to seek, healthcare for to help you get past that point. Sometimes diet, exercise can help, and you don't have to worry about taking medications and whatnot. You are the one who's creating your own life for yourself, and you're the one that's steering the ship per se. Like, you're the creator of your own life. So.
But this is where, and I should say, this is where your background in nursing does come in handy, because you can recognize certain things. You have a background in everything a nurse needs to know, not only at the RN level, but at the bachelor's level. So body chemistry, physiology, all of that. And it is all one. We do live in these bodies, and it's a whole package, mental, emotional, physical, but I'm sure that helps you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And, the thing that I love the most about being a coach and bringing this to our community is the fact that I get to practice holistic care. And it's not that I look at you and say, oh, you're overweight, you need to go lose weight. That has nothing to do with how I necessarily approach my care with people. It's finding out what's going on with you and how can I serve you and what do you need as an individual. And you might find like, I just want to lose weight, but what does that really mean to that person? That could have so many different levels and layers underneath of it. Like, unhappy with their own appearance, they struggle in their relationship because they can't have that, close relationship because of how they feel and the way they look. So there's so many different things that can play into it. And, the important thing is to find out, what does this person need for themselves? And then finding how do we help them and teaching them, the different ways and methods to deal with that, the letting go, the forgiveness, and just moving forward. And then, finding how do we use these tools to move forward, to live a fulfilling life. And that's where, finding what works for each individual and pulling in all these resources that we have in our community are so beneficial.
Yeah, it's all about, I guess, really loving ourselves and thriving together to learn to live in that love more and more and more, right? Isn't that really the bottom line always?
Yeah, connect, love, and serve.
Liz, I'm so glad I met you, and I know we'll
Yes.
stay connected. And you can
Absolutely.
stay connected here with all of the resources on this page. Believe me, I'll be sharing this dialogues page from time to time just as it grows in content. And you may very well find some resources that you didn't even know you were looking for, but that are of interest to you in this community.
Absolutely.